ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the DNA Sports Talk Show here on the Warrior Network. I'm Davis Gregory, and with me always is Mr. Andrew Cross. And today we're going to be covering the NBA trade deadline and two of the major topics that really came out of that. The Lakers not getting Anthony Davis and the big offer they put on the table and how that could affect their chemistry. And also the 76ers going all in for this year, trading for Tobias Harris and possibly creating the best starting five in the Eastern Conference. Let's start out with the Los Angeles Lakers not obtaining Anthony Davis before the trade deadline. Andrew, this was big because the Lakers offered Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Rajon Rondo, and then
Kuzma, two first
rounds,
Zubac as well.
And the Pelicans still didn't accept. So go into that a little bit.
The Pelicans said they wanted 4 first-round draft picks, but I had no idea. I personally thought that there was no way the Pelicans were going to get this deal done because they wanted 4 first-round picks. You're not robbing the Lakers of their whole franchise. And I felt that that offer that they gave was reasonable for Anthony Davis. Like Lonzo Ball, very good player, high ceiling. Kyle Kuzma is already one of the better forwards in the Western Conference, and Brandon Ingram still, after being drafted number 2 overall, has massive amounts of potential. And still, they declined every single trade offer, which opens the door for other teams like the Knicks to make a run in free agents. He becomes a free agent, not this free agency, but the next free agency after that. And the Boston Celtics, who originally Anthony Davis said he didn't want to go to, he's reopened his mind to playing for the Celtics. Me personally, as a Celtics fan, I don't think the Celtics should go after Anthony Davis. But Magic Johnson blew that. If the Pelicans were not open at all to trading Anthony Davis, he should just not have made any offers at all. But he blew that, not getting Davis. Here's the thing with me and LeBron, why would you want to play for LeBron in the first place?
When you know that you're probably
exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, the Lakers right now, they're 3 games out of the 8th seed. They're getting beat by the Sacramento Kings and the Lakers. They're getting the Clippers in the standings. Like the Kings and the Clippers, 2 teams that have no business even being in the playoffs. And you have LeBron James on your team with a bevy of good young players. The Lakers, they're a big mess right now. Hopefully, we can see second half stretch LeBron carry this team to the playoffs. But still, just not getting Anthony Davis with that offer that they put on the table that blows my mind.
And as you said, right now that LeBron apparently has said that he's going to go into playoff mode a little bit early. I still think, though, the Lakers will find a way to get into the 8th seed, and they'll find a way to get to the Western Conference Finals somehow, some way. I don't know how they're going to do it, but it's just always what happens. LeBron will find a way to get into the conference final or the finals. For me, and when I heard about the specifics of the trade, what players are going to be traded and the picks as well, that's got to do something to a team's chemistry. You saw what the Pacers fans did to JaVale and Brandon Ingram. LeBron's going to trade you, and then to JaVale, you're not worth trading. I don't see how you can sit there and, a guy, your teammate that you put trust in and you believe to have your back, wants to trade you for another player. And we know that LeBron is the GM. So he basically is suggesting, I want Anthony Davis, and I don't care what we have to give up for him. That does something to a team's chemistry, and that could be very detrimental to this Lakers season. And they might not make the playoffs, but we're not going to continue on this. We're going to go ahead and get to our next topic. The 76ers acquiring Tobias Harris, VFL, played for the Vols. I believe he was a one-and-done player here at Tennessee. Acquired him from the Clippers. And the 76ers really went all in at this trade deadline, getting Tobias Harris. And they traded a lot of their assets, and we kind of have 2 differing opinions on what that meant for the team, but we will get in that further down the line as we discuss this. So the Clippers traded away, I believe, they traded for Jimmy Butler. They traded away Robert Covington, which is a lot of depth.
And Saric as well.
And Saric. And I loved Saric and Covington as well. Covington, a great defender, and Saric, a very good forward in the Eastern Conference. And when you look at that Sixers team now, they have a really good starting 5. But who off that bench is going to give you at least 15 a night, maybe 12 a night? I don't see it. When they played the Celtics, and granted, they've only played 4 games together. Their record is 3-1 together as that new starting 5, and they've got a lot of time to be able to build some chemistry. But still, at the same time, you traded away a lot of your bench in order to get this starting 5. I think that if it comes down to it and they figure things out and the bench starts to develop, I like the Sixers coming out of the East. I really think that starting 5 can take over and really win the Eastern Conference, have a strong shot to win it. But that bench is going to have to develop, going to have to give them quality minutes and hold a lead. If they don't do that, I don't think the Sixers will maybe even make the Eastern Conference final. But even if they do, Boston's depth, that's going to absolutely slaughter the Sixers. In that series, if depth comes down to it, I'm taking the Celtics in about 5 games.
And the Celtics, they've gotten off to a slow start this year. They haven't even hit their stride that they were at last year. The thing I don't like about this Sixers trade is, one, they give up all their first-round picks. Like, not necessarily all of them, but all the ones that had value. They traded away Landry Shamet from Wichita State, who was a great player. I loved watching him in the NCAA tournament. But still, I don't get the coaching. Brett Brown is a great coach, but I don't get your lineup is filled with interior players. Joel Embiid is an interior player. We know Ben Simmons can't shoot the ball. He's an interior player at the point guard. The only, perimeter players, I guess you could say, obviously J.J. Redick, who's one of the best three-point shooters in the league, and maybe Jimmy Butler, but Jimmy Butler loves to drive and shoot pull-up jump shots. I'm not sure how this team is going to really mesh. And also, like you said, no depth. A lot of these teams, you look at the Warriors teams that have won the title, all of them have had, Iguodala, Livingston, guys who can come off and give you 10 to 15. Maybe not Livingston can give you 15, but still Iguodala can give you 15. He's a Finals MVP. All these teams have great players coming off the bench, and I look at that Sixers team. Who's their sixth man? T.J. McConnell. There's no one off that bench who can really give you. He can give you quality minutes, but not offensively can consistently score over and over and over again. And that's the thing with the Celtics. You look at their bench: Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, Terry Rozier, just guys coming off that bench who can carry a squad, and they've proven that they can do that time and time again. It's a little bit of bias, but I think Celtics are coming out of Eastern Conference because of their depth and their experience. But we'll see the Raptors still. The Raptors made a move picking up Marc Gasol. I really like that trade, so we will see how the Eastern Conference plays out. Looks to be a good one.
Right, it's going to be very interesting. And I actually looked at it. I believe the 7th and 8th seed in the Eastern Conference right now still have a losing record. But we'll see how this thing all plays out towards this end of this NBA season. We want to thank you all for joining us for this NBA trade deadline episode of DNA Sports Talk Show. And we will see you all next time.